This week, we just have one project, one assignment that you're going to need to turn in by Wednesday. So it is a 3-day week. You would be getting 3 full class periods to work on this in class. So it should be able to get done in this 3-day time period. So when you open up the midterm election project, so the focus of this week is going to be on our actual election that is coming up. So our election day is November 8th. And it is this year we have a governor's race, which is what you're going to focus on. And so you're going to scroll through these slides. It'll kind of explain the project, as well as the link here will explain the project as well. So in groups of no more than 3, you can ignore the group part. There are no groups for VA, but you'll be researching the gubernatorial race. So a key term, gubernatorial, it means relating to the state governor or the office of the state governor. And so we've talked about the 3 branches of government. The governor is the head of the executive branch for our state government. So the president is the head of the executive branch for the national government. The governor is the head of that executive branch for our state government. So we have an election coming up for Minnesota governor. You're going to be comparing the biographical information of 2 major party candidates, and you will not need to do a third party candidate. And you're going to be looking at their views on issues. You'll be creating an infographic for this project, and I would recommend either using Google Drawing or Canva, which I'll talk about in a minute. And the project will be worth 22 points and will be due on November 2nd. So the key race is between Minnesota's current governor, Tim Walz, and Dr. Scott Jensen, who's running against him. So Tim Walz is the incumbent. The incumbent is someone who's currently in office and seeking re-election. So you are going to research information, and then ultimately you're going to be creating an infographic. So I'm going to go to the actual assignment here. I'll come back to this part here at the end, but here are your instructions. The project's going to be worth 22 points, and it'll go in the projects and assessments category of the gradebook. You are going to research and you're going to start by researching and completing the table below. So you are going to research Tim Walz and Scott Jensen. You do not need to do a third-party candidate. So you will just be doing Jensen, who's the Republican candidate, and Walz, who is the Democratic candidate. And so you can start going to gather information about them on their websites. So these are their campaign websites, Walz, Jensen. And then here in the Star Tribune website, you are going to see, if you scroll down a little bit, you're going to see each of the candidates that are compared side by side on different issues. So you are, and if you go to these other websites, I gave you a little hint as to where to find various issues. So you're going to choose 6 issues to compare for each candidate. So issues could include education, the economy, environment, abortion, social justice issues, transportation, gun control, crime. You could choose other issues that you see that are listed on the website, but you need to be able to compare both candidates on these issues. So do pick something that you're interested in that's important to you. So, if you're not really interested in like transportation, then don't choose it. Once you've chosen your 6 issues, you're going to list them down below on this chart. You are also going to find out a little bit of biographical information about the person. Biographical information is going to be what is their background, what's their education, and their experience. So you're going to compare them. You'll probably best find that on their own websites. So you're going to get a little information there. Then you're going to list the issues. So let's say you're comparing them on education. So then you're going to, in your own words, talk about what Jensen and Walz both believe about education, what they're going to do about education, what are their views, what are their policies that they would like to create if they were elected to office. Then down below here, so once you fill out that chart and you have your information, you're going to create something called an infographic. So an infographic is a visual image, such as a chart or a diagram, that is used to represent information or data. There are a couple of videos here. These are both YouTube videos that help explain what an infographic are. I'm just going to pull up a couple of examples. It's most likely that you've all seen an infographic because the reason that people use infographics is to use visual, or is that it's kind of a shorter amount of writing, but also like visually appealing, and it helps people. The science behind it is that people, when they have visuals and when they kind of have short amounts of writing in little blurbs, they are much more likely to learn better. So these are some examples of infographics. But you are going to be creating an infographic, so it might look something like this, where you're going to, not necessarily this one, but where you are going to compare the two candidates side by side on the issues that you are choosing. So infographics include pictures, they include titles, they include little blurbs of information. So make it appealing, neat, and easy to comprehend. So your options for how you're going to create your infographic, you can use a program called Canva. If you click here, this would bring you to Canva. You are going to need to create a free account. I'm already logged in, but you're going to log in using your Google account. And you are going to look for templates that are infographics. So let's see here, scrolling down. You are going to let's see if I am, so let's say infographic. Okay, so here's an infographic template. You're going to choose a template that you think would work best for your project. So some of these might not work very well, but okay, here's a comparative. So if I can go to a comparative infographic. Let's see, I could click on customize this template, and it'll actually bring it up as something that I can actually edit. So I would be able to edit all of this. This might be a good one to use, or you might not just choose infographic, you might choose comparison, and you look for templates that would help you compare multiple things, and all of them, all the templates are editable. So you might, look at this one and say, okay, I'm going to put candidate 1 over here and candidate 2 over here. I'm going to compare them on education and economics and social justice or whatever it is, and you're going to put those side by side. The other program that you can, so once you do that, you got to make sure that you save it. And then with that, you are eventually going to find a way to share it with me by getting a link for your project. So if I go to my account, let's see here, home, I have an infographic here that I'm going to share. So eventually I'm going to share this design, and I'm going to share it with anyone with the link can view it, and I'm going to copy the link I'm going to copy it, and I'm eventually going to share it. You may also use Google Drawing. This might be a little bit simpler of a program to use, but if you click here, it'll bring you to Google Drawing. And this is just a Google app in which you can add your own shapes. So you would kind of instead of using a template, you would add your own shapes and information. You can add pictures to this, so on and so forth. So you're going to create an infographic that is going to compare and contrast the two candidates. And then here are the expectations. You should have a bio of each candidate. You should have a picture of each candidate. You should have information on each candidate's views on 6 different topics in your own words. If there are things that are not written in your own words, I will not give you credit for it. So make sure you're writing everything in your own words. You should have 4 other pictures. You should have a bibliography, 4 or more other pictures, and it should be neat, easy to read, and set up in a way that's easy to comprehend. Okay. All right, so that is the assignment. You have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to work on this, so please reach out to me if you have any questions.